everyone. I'm so grateful and thankful to be here with this theme, strength and surrender. And I know that the theme of the month is also willingness. So surrender has everything to do with that willingness. And even though I can't see you, I can feel your energy, and that's everything because we're all connected. There's so much more than the eyes see, anyhow. So this is a nice practice for me at the same time. All right, so I wanted to start with a beautiful prayer from A Course in Miracles. As Julian said, I love A Course in Miracles. I met with the course in the 90s, and I've been a student and teacher for over 25 years. I think it's 29 years now. And the book in chapter 2 has a really beautiful prayer that I feel goes very good with having that big willingness, as I like to say, but also everything to do with surrender. So I'll have you repeat after me. We can do it as an affirmation and mantra as we open up the energy of this talk. And it starts like this. I am here only to be truly helpful.
I am here only to be truly helpful.
I am here to represent Him who sent me.
I am here to represent Him who sent me.
I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do,
I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do,
because He who sent me will direct me.
because He who sent me will direct me.
I am content to be wherever He wishes,
I am content to be wherever He wishes,
knowing He goes there with me.
knowing He goes there with me.
I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal.
I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite prayers in the course. It's all about trust. It's all about surrender. It's all about getting out of the way. And it's talking about God, universe, source, divine, basically getting out of the way and allowing our God consciousness, which connects us all, because we're all in the mind of God, to allow that energy to flow in our lives and to completely let go. And we are so worthy of that. When we surrender and we let go, we experience more of God. We experience the Christ within us, which Jesus was such an example of living in that surrender consistently, living in that non-judgment consistently. But surrender has a lot to do with you having that will, that willingness to want to surrender. So I will be sharing with you 3 steps on the strength of surrender. And I love doing steps because I feel that it's very helpful when you leave the service to remember these 3 steps in your life and apply them. And for me, when we're speaking around about surrender, we need to begin to do number 1, this first step, which is acknowledgement. And what I mean by acknowledgement is to acknowledge where you are still not surrendering. How many of you are surrendering 100% all the time in your life, straight across the board out of 10? I already get it. Don't worry. I don't need to see you. I understand. Okay. Exactly. And that's what I want to get at. I'm not saying you have to be at a 10. I'm not saying you have to do it 24 hours a day. But what I am saying is to start to get really honest in our lives that we don't want to fully surrender. And the reason that I know that we do this, aside from my experience with my clients and also with myself, is that in this world, this dual world, this world of separation, it's a common habit for us to not surrender because we believe in the egoic thought system and we love to control and manipulate. But you guys don't control and manipulate, right?
No.
Right.
I didn't think so. So that control and manipulation is, we laugh about it, and we can, because I love laughter because it brings a lot of joy to it. And what's good is to just recognize that it's normal to control and to want to manipulate and to want to have it our way because it is part of being human. It's a part of our personality trait, which not necessarily is it 100% true. Our personality is built by a series of beliefs that we have since we grew up, and then we build this mental construct of who we think we are and what our needs are. Our spirit self, our true self, is connected to God and trust and knows what's the real deal and what's the truth, which is we're connected to God. But it's normal for us in the body to not trust fully and to want things our way. And there's nothing bad with that. That's very important because the ego would actually add guilt to that. And what we want to do is make it light, which is what we're doing. And at the same time, it's just say, okay, I am willing to acknowledge where is it that I'm not fully willing to give it over to God. I'm not really fully willing to give it over completely and totally. This can be a surrender of forgiveness of something you're still holding on to since you were a little child, a little boy, a little girl. It can be something that happened last week. It can be basically the surrender of things that you want in form or things that you want to create. It could be a surrender of health, of relationship. And when I mean surrender, means a complete surrender of no control and really trusting the outcome and really trusting that that will be healed when you get your hand out of it, when you get your ego thoughts out of it. And that is the blind spot, is us getting really honest and having an intimate conversation. We're going to do a little short process at the end of the talk here, towards the end, on surrender. And you will experience what I'm teaching today in a deeper way. But you want to acknowledge. So right now, I just want you to think, okay, what is it that I'm still holding on to? What is it that I still don't want to forgive? Personally, myself, one of the blind spots I had is I wasn't really fully willing, and I didn't know this, it was very unconscious, to forgive my father when he committed suicide when I was 3 months old. And I've brought this up in the service today, and I've before when I've been here, or maybe I've brought it up in a class, but I have said over and over again that my blind spot was that healing, that abandonment. And I said I wanted to forgive it, and I've said I want to forgive a lot of things in my life and study the Course in Miracles. And I have very good will and I have that will to want to change. But at the same time, not really. Okay. And I know you laugh because you could identify, because we want and we have the best intention to want to let go of old healing inner child issues, or we have every intention to want to feel good about our health and let go about what the doctor said. We have every intention, but at the same time, there's something within us that's not totally in aligned, and we still control, we still doubt, and we still manipulate. So we want to fully acknowledge that we are not willing to surrender completely first. And it's not bad. It's just calling yourself out. The ego doesn't likes to have private thoughts. It doesn't like to pour things out. So it's very important to feel it, to heal it, and get very honest with yourself. I still want to not let go of what the doctor said and that I have this illness or I have whatever I have in my body. I'm still not willing to let go of the pain that I suffered. And I'm giving you an example of a divorce. Or so you want to see what that is, because you may have all the intentions to want to surrender, but not really at 100%. And that is the issue. And that is why I wrote my book, Live Your Happy, the way I wrote it, is because I felt that my blind spot was that I was making too many excuses and too many compromises to the teachings of the Course, to the teachings of the unity principles. And I didn't realize that until I started to escalate my spiritual practice, going to ministerial school and really having a dialogue with spirit, that I started to unravel my I was hiding, and also my self-sabotage. And it was because I wasn't fully willing, all in, to let go. So what is that for you today? So that way today, Sunday, August 18th, you can remember this day and say, wow, this is the day that I let go of the grievance. This is a day that I made that commitment to surrender. Even if I don't want to, even if you don't want to, it's that big, fat prayer and desire to say, I want all of you, God. I have no idea. I don't know what's the highest and best for me. I love the beginning lessons of the course, which is I don't know what anything means. I give everything the meaning it has for me. So you want to begin to not think you know it all, and you want to let God be God and stop, and this is really harsh to say, but to stop war with God and stop trying to replace God, thinking that you know best. So when we surrender, it's not that we become complacent in this first step of acknowledgement. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything. But what it means is let me get my head straight. Let me get my mind straight, my thoughts straight, so that I can come from a space of clarity, so I can come from a place of trust. Maybe from there, I do talk to the doctor. Maybe from there, I do write my ex-husband a letter. Maybe from there, I do heal that inner child. All right. So it doesn't mean you don't do anything, but what it means is let go of the victimization. Let's let go of the manipulation and control and begin to live in a different way, to live in a trusting way, which is step number 2, which is trust the process. And in trusting the process, you want to acknowledge the resistance, which was step 1, and then you want to shift your focus to building trust. And you build trust by starting to let go and have less control in your life. And you see that that works. You begin to have more trust. And it's not old trust of I trust you because of the way you've been in your life, or it's not that trust, or I trust life because of what I know from the past. It's more of I trust in something that is invisible. I trust in the perfection. I trust that my life flows, even though it might not look like it outside. So the trust comes that even though things are not looking good in the external, you still trust and know that you will overcome and this will change. Love will prevail. Course in Miracles says only love is real, all else is an illusion. So whatever is not of love isn't true. So you want to come into your life with more of a sense of trust. I started to begin to really, really trust in 2014 when I saw the power of that trust. I was a very controlling, manipulative person, not in a bad way, just because I really wanted things to go well. I was creating a lot of things. I was doing a lot of things in form. I was speaking all over the world. I was about to write my book. So I understand that type of excitement. And at the same time, even when I got my book deal in 2016 and I started writing my book, I needed to have a sense of trust because of the process of it, how it was going to look, how it was going to get finished. I needed to let go of the control of the writing. I needed to let go of the control that it needed to be perfect. And what happens is that I had such a good time writing it. So much so that when it was complete, when I was done writing the first outline of the book to turn into Hay House, which actually turned down the book, and my agent and literary agent and editor called me and said, Hay House is not interested in the book. And I was really happy about that, right? And the reason I was happy about it is because I had a sense of trust that the book was going to be where it was supposed to be. I wasn't manipulating, I wasn't controlling. He even told me, wow, you are the happiest, how do you call it? Rejected writer that I've ever met. Because I was happy about the rejection, because for me it wasn't rejection, it was just the universe showing me that this is not where the book is supposed to be. And it was such a blessing because I was willing to let go until he said, hey, we're going to keep on trying to sell the book. And eventually it got picked up by New World Library, which actually published The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So it was a big publishing house. And at the same time, I was so not attached to it. What surrender looks like is understanding that nothing outside defines you. And I've said this many times, and for those that are new today, you can hear it for the first time, and those that have heard it before can go deeper with it, which is, for so long, the world defined me. For so long. This could be relationships, this could be money, this could be my acting career, my television career, this can be just my life defined me. And it was such a lonely road because all I wanted was really the love of God. I wanted to experience the love of God. And there was this endless search of looking for the love of God outside of myself until I realized it was here. It was right here. The love of God was right here. And I'm sure all of you can relate to it. Then I could go deeper into, this world does not define me. God does. So what happens is, Live Your Happy doesn't define me. Being a teacher of the Course in Miracles doesn't define me. Being a mom doesn't define me. Being a wife doesn't define me. It's part of my personality. It's part of being in this world of duality. And I'm so grateful for that. But my deep understanding is that these things outside and my experience of life and form does not define me. God defines me. That is my strength. That is gold for me. Because when I know that God defines me, all else for me is just love, an extension of that love and gratitude. So within that trust, you begin to experience more of not letting the world define you. And then your projects, your life, your relationships gets fun. Why? There's no attachments. Capito? Capito? Capisci? Okay. So that's the exciting part, because you can say, oh my God, I could want everything I want and desire everything I desire, and at the same time let go of the control and manipulation and surrender completely, totally. And then it's just so much fun to create. I'm constantly creating things within my business, and I love it because for me, there's no attachment. It's just fun and joy and excitement. And going to the last step, which has been very obvious with what I've been saying, is that release of control, right? So the first step, you want to acknowledge where you are being resistant, where you're not really truly 100% letting go. And then the second step is trust the process, right? So first you want to acknowledge, second is trust that process, which I just went over. And then lastly, really release the control. So you want to consistently release the control of the outcomes, such as I did with my book. And that's just one story. I'm constantly releasing outcomes because I'm constantly creating things. So I need to constantly let go of what it looks like. So what does that look like for you? And that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to do a little short process, a surrendering exercise. And I know that I can't see you, although I trust that at this time you can close your eyes and you can have a breath. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling. And just say inside your heart, I am willing. So just inside, just say, I am open and I am willing to be here and to do this exercise and to be present and to let go of thoughts as much as I can, because this process is a gift to myself. So I want you to think of something in your life that you're holding on to tightly. Bring it to your mind's eye, a situation, a decision, or an outcome that you're trying to control. And I want you to get very honest and acknowledge the resistance or the fear of letting that go. And I encourage you to be as honest and radically honest that you can with yourself, that you're still not willing to let go 100%. Good. Now I ask you now to focus on the feeling of trust. Just really trusting, just letting go. And it's not about giving up, it's just about allowing life to unfold naturally. Maybe you want to put that on the altar, whatever's coming up for you as a symbol of trust. And just really give this gift of, okay, I'm holding on to this and I'm willing to trust now, and I don't need to do anything, it will be shown. And just inhale here what you're holding on to, and just exhale everything you're trying to control. On the exhale, just visualize yourself releasing that control and just come back to your breath, normal breath. And now one more time, inhaling, visualize what you want to control, and exhale. One more time, visualize what you are controlling, and exhaling the breath, letting go of that control. And now just putting your hand on your heart in acknowledgement of this, just with a deep prayer to God that whatever you're holding on to, maybe it's unconscious, that you're willing to surrender to the divine, to God. You're tired of the burden on your heart, on your mind, on your life, and you're ready to release. And all together, with your eyes closed, we just say out loud, I trust the process of life,
Trust the process of life,
and I release the need to control.
and I release the need to control.
And so it is, opening your eyes very gently. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Mwah.